Have you ever stopped to think about how special dogs really are? They've been by our side for thousands and thousands of years. They're our companions, our protectors, our inseparable friends, and very often, family members we love even more than many people we know. But behind this intimate coexistence, there's an entire universe of curiosities, surprising abilities, instinctive behaviors, and natural characteristics that most people simply have no idea about. And that's exactly what we're going to explore in today's video. Get ready for a true immersion into the world of dogs. We're going to understand how they see, how they smell, why they tilt their heads when we talk to them, how their dreams work, what their deepest emotions are, what they understand about our language, and even unbelievable phenomena like the ability to detect diseases, sense earthquakes, and recognize people even after years without seeing them. We'll also explore historical, genetic, biological, and behavioral curiosities that will make you look at your dog in a completely new way. Who knows? Maybe you'll even discover that your dog has been trying to communicate with you for a long time, and you just never noticed. So get comfortable, because in the next few moments you're going to become, literally, an expert on dogs. This is the most complete and in-depth video about canine curiosities you've ever seen on YouTube. Let's begin. If there's one thing that defines a dog, it's the sense of smell. We humans perceive the world mainly through our eyes. Dogs, on the other hand, live through their noses. To give you an idea, while we have around 5 million olfactory cells, a dog can have up to 300 million, depending on the breed. And that's not all. A dog's brain has an area dedicated to smell that is proportionally 40 times larger than ours. But do you know what that means? It means a dog doesn't just smell something. They read smells. They see layers, details, nuances. For a dog, the air is like an open book. They can identify who passed by, when they passed, which direction they were going, their sex, whether they were scared, healthy, sweating, or even whether they were in love. Yes, love has a scent, at least for dogs. And this impressive ability enables things that seem like superpowers. For example, dogs can detect cancers, such as breast, lung, or prostate cancer, just by smelling a person's breath or sweat. They identify drops in blood sugar in diabetic people, often before the person notices. They can find people buried under rubble after earthquakes, victims lost in forests, and even locate cell phones buried underground. And did you know they can smell time? That's right. They notice changes in the air and sense scent trails fading as hours pass. As for their famous habit of sniffing everything, poles, tires, the ground, other dogs' behinds, all of this is part of a highly sophisticated social reading system. Every scent contains information about identity, health, diet, hormones, and even mood. For them, smelling the world is like us checking our social media, a way of knowing what's going on around them. There's a very popular myth that says dogs see the world in black and white. That's completely false. Dogs do see colors, just in a limited range. They mainly perceive shades of blue, yellow, and gray. What they can't see very well are reds and greens. So if you've ever thrown a red ball on the grass and your dog took a while to find it, now you know why. They also have night vision far superior to ours. They have a special tissue called the tapetum lucidum, which reflects light inside the eye, allowing them to see even in low-light conditions. Another curiosity: dogs can detect extremely fast movements, much faster than humans can see. For them, vision isn't about detail, it's about motion. That's why dogs react to movement on the horizon even at long distances. They are incredibly good at catching moving objects, and sometimes they get hypnotized by things we don't even notice. But perhaps the most charming feature of canine vision is the famous head tilt when they hear us speak. This has nothing to do with vision, but with hearing and cognitive processing. When a dog tilts its head, it's trying to better understand what you're saying. It's a way of adjusting the ear to catch specific sounds while also interpreting your facial expression. Yes, They really try to understand words, and they can recognize more than 200 of them. If smell is the dog's superpower, hearing is their radar. Dogs hear frequencies up to 4 times higher than humans, detecting sounds far beyond our limits. And just like wolves, this ability evolved for survival, detecting predators, hearing the movement of small prey, interpreting the exact direction of distant sounds, hearing storms, winds, and natural events long before we do. There's even a common theory that dogs can sense earthquakes and natural disasters. And although science still hasn't fully explained it, we know they hear low-frequency vibrations and feel subtle changes in the atmosphere. They can also recognize the sound of their owner's car before it arrives. That's no coincidence. Dogs create a mental catalog of familiar sounds. And yes, they know when you're sad, angry, or happy just by your tone of voice. Dogs have a complete, rich, and extremely expressive language, but they don't use words. They communicate using body posture, tail movement, facial expressions, eye contact, sounds such as barking, whining, howling, and grumbling, and of course, scent. For example, a wagging tail doesn't always mean happiness. A stiff high tail moving slightly means alertness. A loose tail swinging widely means joy. Yawning can signal stress. It's a calming mechanism like taking a deep breath. Lying belly up isn't always a request for petting. Sometimes it's a gesture of submission, a request for peace, or simply a comfortable way to cool down. Dogs blink slowly to show trust. It's similar to the gesture cats use. And the most interesting of all, dogs understand our emotions better than we imagine. They interpret micro-expressions on our face, body posture, breathing patterns, the scent of our sweat, tone of voice. In other words, they literally read us. A dog's brain has the intelligence equivalent to that of a 2-year-old human child. This means they understand simple concepts, recognize routines, form deep emotional associations, feel jealousy, know when a person is trustworthy, remember traumatic events, and store long-term memories. Let's go even deeper. Associative memory dogs don't remember stories like humans do. They remember smells, sensations, emotions, tones of voice, and remarkable events. For example, your dog may not remember exactly what happened yesterday, but it remembers the smell of the vet and the feeling that smell brings. They feel love, real love. Studies show that when a dog looks at its owner, its brain releases oxytocin, the love hormone, the same hormone that mothers release when looking at their babies. Yes, your dog loves you biologically. Dogs dream, and in their dreams, they relive everyday situations, running, playing, chasing something, reuniting with their owner. When their paws twitch during sleep, they're moving in their dreams. Word recognition. Dogs can learn about 200 words, but some can learn over 1,000. They don't just understand sounds, they recognize patterns. Jealousy and empathy. Dogs get jealous when their owner gives attention to another animal, hugs someone, or ignores the dog intentionally. They also comfort sad people by approaching and offering physical contact, something extremely rare among animals. The history of dogs begins with wolves, but the most amazing part is that dogs were not domesticated by humans. They self-domesticated. Around 15,000 to 30,000 years ago, some wolves realized that following human groups was advantageous. They could eat leftovers, observe human behavior, and gradually get closer. The friendliest wolves approached more. The aggressive ones were avoided. Over time, these wolves changed, and so the first dogs were born. The most fascinating thing is that dogs evolved not only physically but mentally to understand humans. They can interpret expressions, follow gestures, understand pointing, and make eye contact like no other animal. Dogs are literally the species that adapted the most to humans in the entire history of the planet. Here we explore unique, impressive, and even bizarre facts about different breeds. Examples. The Siberian Husky can run more than 150 km per day without getting tired. The Basset Hound has ears that drag on purpose to pull scents toward the nose. The Dalmatian is born completely white. Its spots appear later. The Chow. Chow has a blue tongue. The Greyhound is faster than a cheetah over long distances. The Beagle is so scent-driven that it often forgets the world while sniffing. The German Shepherd is one of the smartest breeds in the world. The Labrador is the most widely used guide dog due to its emotional balance. The Pug was created to be a royal lapdog in ancient China. The Basenji doesn't bark. It makes unique sounds similar to singing. The Saint Bernard has saved thousands of lives in the Alps and many others. Dogs feel joy, fear, anxiety, sadness, anticipation, curiosity, jealousy, empathy, frustration, attachment, grief. Yes, they suffer when they lose a friend or their owner. They can even develop depression. Dogs are also extremely sensitive to conflicts at home. They detect changes in tone of voice, arguments, emotional tension, crying, and they adjust their behavior to try to restore peace. Here's an expanded and impressive list of curiosities, including dogs perceive time even without a clock. They know when you're coming home by the scent that fades throughout the day. They see themselves in mirrors, but don't understand the reflection like we do. Dogs can recognize up to 1,000 people by smell. They have more facial expressions than chimpanzees. Dogs understand pointing, a skill even domesticated wolves don't have. A dog's nose is like a fingerprint. Each one is unique. They have an internal compass. They poop aligned with Earth's magnetic field. Dogs know when we're sick. They lift their leg while peeing to appear bigger. A dog's brain lights up with reward when it smells its owner, and dozens of other curiosities. In the end, the greatest curiosity about dogs is that they are biologically programmed to live by our side. They seek our approval. They look into our eyes for connection. They want to protect and be protected. And they measure their own value by how happy they can make us. We are two completely different species, yet we evolved together in a bond stronger than any other in nature. And that's why when a dog looks at you, it's not just an animal looking at its owner. It's an entire species looking at another. A friendship that began thousands of years ago and continues to this day. Now you know practically everything about dogs. More than curiosities, you discovered how they feel, how they think, and why they're so special. If you have a dog, take good care of them. They love you in a way no other animal can. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, share it, and comment which curiosity surprised you the most. See you in the next video.